Thank you for joining my YouTube channel. If you like these videos, please click like and subscribe. In 2019, French teenager Eloi Rolland arrived in New Zealand to study. He had a job, made friends. 6 months later, he disappeared without a trace. A year later, police said his fate remains unknown, and his case is set to be referred to the coroner. He was a typical 18-year-old enjoying the freedoms associated with being a recent high school leaver. He also had a whole new city to explore, having arrived in Auckland from Montpellier, France, in September of 2019 to learn English at the International Language College education. During his time in Auckland, he went to the zoo, enjoyed nights out, worked at a popular bar, dabbled in modeling, and had good times with friends. Before his disappearance, he expressed to his family that he wished to visit Paiha again, and he did just that, and he has not been seen or heard from since. His journey to Paiha started on the evening of March 6, when without explanation he left the property he'd been living with, a host family in Birkenhead on Auckland's North Shore. Only a small backpack, and he boarded a train. It is not known where he spent the night. Before he boarded the train, he updated one of his 2 Facebook accounts cover to an image of a near black rectangle at 5:46 a.m. He also updated his profile pic on his other Facebook of a photo of him at Auckland Zoo with a heart border on March 5th. He did not use his Auckland Transport hop card to tag off the train when he exited New Lynn. However, the AT's security camera spotted him walking southbound down Fruitvale Road at 7:30 a.m. Cell phone data put him in the vicinity of Paiha Road and the Scenic Drive at 9:18 a.m. Leo Mole, the owner of the headquarters bar and restaurant where Rolland worked on a casual contract for a short period, told Stuff in March that he attempted to contact his family prior to his disappearance with grave concerns for his state of mind. The headquarters staff had reported that Rolland failed to show up for some of his shifts before he went missing, but it was an interaction with Rolland during a fire alarm excavation which prompted him to inquire with the other staff about his troubled personality. We had grave concerns for his state of mind and his state of health and safety. Aurora Rolland told the Stuff that she believed her brother did not have a suicidal intent, that he was due to return to France in March after securing a place at the university. The parents had been unable to travel to New Zealand due to coronavirus pandemic and the restrictions, so they feel very helpless. With each bit of new information comes more hope of finding Eloi. He adds that he encouraged people to come forward with any evidence of movements on or before his disappearance. It's still possible to shed light. Let's all remain united in order to find him. All right. So at this point, let's go ahead and turn to the tarot cards to see if we can figure out what might have happened to this really wonderful, nice young man. I'm going to start out with the Haunted House Tarot, which is what I usually always start out with this deck, and then I branch to another deck. So what happened to Eloi Rolland? What happened to him? We'll just kind of let the cards tell the story. So he's pleading. Somebody's pleading. They want their hopes. This is a star card. They want all their hopes and dreams. They want all their hopes and dreams to come true, and they want everything to work out for themselves. Whoa, and then we got total devastation. There's a Ten of Swords. It's like somebody who is completely devastated. Life has beat them down for some reason. That can also be the mental state card that they were talking about. Oh, interesting. Interesting that these cards came up in another video that I did today. This is weird. These are like stalker cards. There must be something that for me to pay attention in this, because here again is the word buy, and the person's got their hand on the Ouija. I wonder if I've gotten 2 Ouija board cards today. I wonder if I need to drag out my Ouija board. Oh dear. This is in a cemetery, and it's a mother grieving the loss. Okay, let's just continue this. But this is definitely a cemetery scene, and the mother is hugging the child, wanting to provide comfort. So we'll just let the cards continue to talk about this. Whoa, the angel card. All right, well, with this, the cemetery and an angel, it almost feels like he could have passed, but this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not going to make that as a solid statement. But I'll pull 2 more cards. Wanted to leave, get away from it, go by the rocks and the coast. Wow. That is by the rocks and some river and just going away, lighting a candle. Candlelight, vigil light. This could indicate that he was like by himself, because this is Ace of Wands, by himself. Let's grab another deck. Now for this is really weird because I just had this impression to grab a deck that I never use for my murder mysteries. Never. I never use this deck. So I'm just going to ask, what do we need to know about Eloi disappearing? What do we have to know about it? Card number 1. Same card. This is the same 8 of Cups. This person left on his own accord. I mean, this is the same card, same exact card in the other deck. And that's a 1 in 78 chance of coming up. This person left on their own accord. Okay. And then what? And by the way, looking at the moon here, the moon can be lunacy. Oh, so can this, 7 of Swords. Not in the right mind. This is the thinking mind. Not in the right mind, not in the moon, not in the right mind. Just wanted happiness, wanted to be happy. Wanted to be happy. Page of Swords could be an angry. Something was angry. Something made him angry. Could have been angry, upset. He looks like he's in the defensive position. Knight of Cups. He had a very creative mind. He was very creative. He could have been an artist, I feel like. He was very creative. Very creative person. And there he is stepping into the water. Look at here. It's a student. He had really high hopes of learning something. I mean, this is a student. He had all these high hopes. What happened to him? I almost feel like this is astrology. I don't do astrology, but this person in this card is pointing to the astrology chart. I wonder if he was at a time in his astrology chart when he could have been vulnerable. If this, like Mercury retrograde, I wonder if there's a part in the chart where he could have been vulnerable, because he's pointing to the chart, pointing to the astrology chart, that he might have been at a time in his life where he was vulnerable, he was susceptible to depression or being influenced. He didn't maybe feel like he had the strength. This is the Strength card. I feel like he had high expectations of himself, and somehow those weren't met. Like set your sights high. Like he thought he could achieve all these things, but for some reason, he felt that he was either failing at it or he wasn't living up to his potential. Somehow, he was worried about what other people think of him. This could be somebody projecting anger at him, making him feel, like he was worthless. There's the 3 of Swords, loss. It's almost like feeling like you don't belong in society. Here's the stem, all his desires, bang, crushed. This could be depression over a love of some kind, because 3 of Swords is like a broken heart. It's all this loss and pain. Loss and pain. Right there. Loss and pain. Over the rainbow bridge. This is the rainbow. This is the rainbow bridge and the 10 of Cups. Adored his parents. Adored them. He adored his parents, and they adored him. So this was not about having a rough family situation. Not the case. This had to do with him and his life journey. Four of Swords. Yeah, he's saying here, this was my journey. This was about me. I couldn't find peace. The Four of Swords means hang your problems up. Let go of all your troubled thinking. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't meditate to find peace for himself. This is the opposite of peace. And it wasn't the family. He really wants to make that clear. He had a really good upbringing. Ace of Swords, me alone. This is him alone. Wow. What did he do? Where is he? He traveled. So he did want to travel somewhere. So he traveled. Now, I don't ask, like, is he dead? Because I don't do death predicting with the tarot. Sometimes it just comes out and it's right there and I can't ignore it. But right now, you know, this is like a foreign country or something coming up. So I don't think immediately that he's necessarily passed away, like right away, or if he's even passed away now, because these cards still give me a little bit of hope that he could be in a very remote area. Remote. Hey, on that last reading I did, wasn't there a bird in the card too? A person with a bird? This reading is bleeding into that other reading on Gazdan. If you haven't watched that one, watch that one. A lot of the same concepts are coming up. Wanted to be free of something. He wanted to be free of probably the mental anguish he was going through. Yeah, look at that. He had an internal fight with himself. He didn't know what he was. He was having an internal battle with himself. Fighting himself. He was fighting himself inside his own life. He was having a fight and a conflict within his own life. Five of Swords. And there's another battle card. We got two battle cards. He just, and he let other people influence him too. Like, people could make him feel troubled. Like, if they just said something, he was more sensitive. It's like he was more sensitive to what people would say. And the armor is thrown down here on the ground with, swords or weapons on it or whatever. He threw the armor. He was not protected. He felt very vulnerable. I think he felt emotionally vulnerable. Definitely he was hoping to be the king, like the master, wanted to master, and that's mastering the thinking mind. He might have wanted, to conquer this. And then you've got the moon, which, the moon is lunar, and that's like feeling crazy. Like I think he felt like he was crazy, like he was going crazy. I think he felt like he was going crazy. Instead of having this logical thinking mind, he felt like he was going crazy. That's the king of another country. That's the foreign country. I'm going to skip to another deck. I'm going to go to my go-to universal weight that I always use. And I'm going to ask, is he going to be found? At this point, you have to be sensitive. The family, everybody's looking for him. And I just want to know, is he going to be found? And I'm going to go to my universal weight for that. And I'm going to ask, is Eloi Rolland going to be found? I'm not going to say if he's passed or alive, but is he going to be found? There we have a battle card again. It's a battle, a challenge. Whoa, he really was confused. That's the total confusion card. Like, they don't even know where he is. It's almost like he could have even had an identity crisis with the... So these are not cards about finding him until that one came. I wonder if there's a town with a castle or a name of a castle. A town with a castle, name of a castle. Well, I was hoping that card wouldn't come up. That's totally devastated. He was completely and 100% totally devastated. And we don't know the rest of the story. It's almost like the cards are saying, we're not going to tell the rest of the story. We've given you this much, but the rest of the story is yet to come. Feels like, once again, stepping in to the water down a remote area. And here's royalty, crown, royalty, palace, remote. These are the words I'm getting. I'm just getting words. I don't know. I'm spitting them out as I get them. Depression. It's definitely depressed. He was definitely depressed. I think the chemicals were off in his brain. He just wanted to love his life and who he was. That's all he wanted, was to love his life and to love who he was, and to have inner strength. He wanted to be strong. I feel like he is going to be found. This is finally a yes, but holy crap, it's not like, oh, he's found now. No. Look at all the cards we had to get to before getting him found. And there's a crown connected to it, a crown. Terrain, mountains, high ridges, castle, some kind of river named after somebody, river, lake named after somebody. I'm just throwing things out that come to my mind, which I do, and this is entertainment purposes only. I really like these three cards. I'm actually going to end it here because these are the best three cards you could probably get in a case like this. I'm going to put out there that he is going to be found alive, actually. You know what? I am going to put that out there because I love these three cards. Crown, path, mountains, a water named after somebody, I'm going to put out there that he's found alive. I really am. These are the three best cards. So, let's all do that. In fact, I'm going to grab a crystal. I'm going to grab two. That Eloi be found alive. That he be found alive. And you guys help me anchor this energy, each and every one of you. You have no idea how powerful your words and prayers can be. So at this point, I shifted my energy on this case to where, I feel like he could be alive. He could be alive. He could be in a very remote place, very remote. I'm gonna put these crystals on here. Let this young man have the stable mind of the Knight of Pentacles, and let him send some kind of message, even if he doesn't want to come back yet. Send a message. This is Mercury, the messenger, to the family. The fish are good luck. Let's bring good luck. Let him send a message. I'm okay. I might not want to return right now. I might want to be remote, but let's just put it out there. I'm going to put it out there. That's what I'm going to do. These three cards here just gave me the goosebumps. I have the goosebumps. I'm just going to talk to his higher soul and say, Eloi, let's come back. Let's get your mind on. There's a lot of your life to enjoy yet. Let's get you back. Let's get you back and get you into society again in a healthy way that you can enjoy life. So if you saw anything in these cards that you want to talk about, the symbols in that, the cards are good about giving clues, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And thank you for being on my channel.